Well, I moved old Lem Parsons from the 4th grade all the way up to the 8th grade. He done went and broke Miss Ackworth's nose with a kickball. Then he yanked Miss Natalie Wrigley, the substitute, yanked her arm out of socket. The school board and the principal decided it's time to move him up. Well, a few weeks later, he's on his way to school. He come by the Civil War Memorial Park. Out there in the street in front of the park, there's a duck. One of them big white ducks with the red gobby-looking stuff on the nose. He's laying there, been hit by a car, had a broken wing and a broken leg, and blood all over his head. Well, Lem picked it up, wiped the blood off with his shirt tail, and brought it on to the schoolhouse with him. Kept it under his arm half the day. Now, the junior high building was actually the old high school gymnasium. They went in and built 2 levels of classrooms all around the inside of the building. Out in the middle, they left part of the old basketball court for the commons area. We'd eat our lunches out there. Well, there wasn't no windows in the walls of that building, so they put windows in the inside walls when they built the classrooms. That way the air could circulate a little bit. It's about 102 degrees that day, so teachers all had them windows cranked open. Now, I don't know if it was the broken wing or the broken leg or the head trauma, but every once in a while that old duck would let out a squawk. You could hear it through the whole building. When he did, every kid in there from the 6th grade to the 8th grade would get to giggling. Well, around lunchtime, old Principal Kellerman had had enough. He walked out in the middle of the commons area there, and he said, "Lem Parsons, you get down here and you bring that duck with you." Old Lem was upstairs in English class. He come walking down the stairs. The whole building got real quiet. Everybody's looking out them windows to see what was going to happen. He said, "Lem Parsons, where in the world did you get that duck?" Lem said, "I found him by the Civil War Memorial Park. He'd been hit by a car. He's got a broken wing." Principal Kellerman said, "Well, what in the world did you bring him here for?" Lem said, "Well, I plan on taking him home." Principal Kellerman said, "I reckon you're going to take him home and make him a pet, huh?" Lem said, "No, sir. I plan on taking him home and wringing his neck so Mama could cook him for supper." Principal Kellerman kind of laughed and said, "Well, what are you keeping him alive for?" Old Lem said, "Well, it's awful hot outside and I didn't want him to spoil." Principal Kellerman said, "Well, let me help you out a little bit." He grabbed that duck by the head and slung him around 4 or 5 times and broke his neck. Killed him deader than a doornail. He said, "Now you run off in the kitchen with that thing. You pluck all the feathers off of it, and then you give it to one of the cooks. Have her put it in the refrigerator. You pick it up on your way out of here today. And from now on, if you're going to bring an animal to school, you make sure it's dead first." That was not the last time that Lem ever brought an animal to school. But it was the last time he ever brought one alive.